My next project is to repair this wall. This is kind of our like laundry room area, and the damage is pretty obvious. This piece of clapboard actually fell off late last fall, and it is that sheathing is completely rotten back there. A lot of this trim is pretty rotten. Don't really know what I'm going to find when I pull this off. You can see all the way along this bottom board, which they replaced that, somewhat recently. That's not original, obviously. And you can see like staining coming out from behind the clapboards. So I'm expecting to find some significant rot back there. I'm going to start pulling off everything on the bottom, kind of work my way up until I run out of damage. I'm going to end up doing some repairs up here too, as this eave is pretty well falling apart. The trim's kind of falling out. Let's see what's behind door number 1. That didn't take much. There's just a couple finish nails holding that on. Oh yeah. Yep, that is totally rotten. Looks like pretty much just that bottom piece of sheathing is trash. Next one up is solid all the way across. So that's good news. This might be not as much work as I anticipated. Unfortunately, I broke a couple of those claps, so I gotta fix those. Might be more just trim work. Let's see what we got behind here. Door number 2. Couple things. I think that the sill that was right here, this is rotted here. I bet it rotted out all the way to the corner, and so they put the bricks in here instead. This piece looks like maybe it was a replacement. Same with this one here. The original sill down there is in mediocre condition. A little bit of rot under here. To decide if I'm going to do anything about that or not. I don't think I'm going to go any further up though. That sheathing is in good shape. So I think I just need to replace one strip of sheathing along the bottom. And I'll probably clean out all the mouse house from all these spots. It's kind of gross. But it's not as bad as it could be. I'm going to end up replacing, I think, these trim boards. Some of these claps up here are in really tough shape. This one. I'm sure they're pretty old, but I might just leave them. Definitely going to be working on these pieces of trim up here. You can see like this one's falling out. So a little bit of work to do up there, but overall, this isn't actually as bad as I was fearing, so I guess that's good. All right, I think I'm gonna cut it. Let's see, right where it's broken. See right here. There. Kind of helps to loosen up like multiple rows so that they're not so tight. Like this nail. That nail's pretty tight right there. If I can get that to pop, there we go. All right. These are actually staying, but I want to get this out from under here. I think I got it. Sheathing's solid underneath this window, so that's good. Let's get these corner boards off. It's actually pretty rotten and kind of like splitting the whole thing away. Let's see, maybe we can. Oh, it's a little piece of flashing. That's nice, that's a good touch. Interesting. This metal flashing here. There's a little piece tucked under there. And I broke this a little bit, but I think we can fix that. So there was like a 1x12 sheathing at the bottom. There's one right here. But I actually think these right here are, I don't know about original, but definitely older. Maybe original. They're kind of pretty rough on the ends. Definitely older than what's down here at the bottom. So that's kind of cool. Obviously this has actually been an issue before because they've done some repair work here. I was also trying to see how old these clapboards are. They look quite old. It's really hard to tell with all this old paint, but I think they might be older than what I'm taking off over here. All right, just one more corner. We'll give this a little zip, maybe 2-3 feet up. And we'll get that board out of there, and I think we'll be done for today. Trying to decide if I should cut like right at the end of a clapboard, or if I should cut like in the middle, or if it even matters. I think I'm gonna cut in the middle, like right here. Yep. Excellent. That is not an old piece of wood. And again, look at that. You got flashing under here. Whoever worked on this did a nice job. They knew what they were doing, just... That's old exterior, I believe. Interesting, underneath this funky tar paper. Just, if you pick up and basically push towards me, pick it up as far as it'll go and push towards me as far as it'll go. You good?
I didn't push towards you yet. Okay.
Happy?
I'm happy.
Okay, I'm coming to you.
Let me get in there.
Okay. This material I'm using is this, I think it's called True Exterior Trim. It's like, I don't know if you can see, it's a composite made of like coal. I think it's coal ash and coal byproducts somehow. But it's not, it doesn't absorb water. So I put that as the first course down here because it's so close to the ground. I don't want to put wood there again and have that rot out. So this won't rot, it won't absorb water, and hopefully if we can keep water out of here, it'll this will be good for a long time. The bottom board I just put on is kicked out pretty far because that brick sticks out a lot farther than the rest of the house. So this corner board is going to have a pretty good bend to it. I guess it is what it is. I mean, they've shimmed in the middle because this was obviously an issue. So I guess I'll put a little shim back in there, and we'll just see what we can do, I guess. I'm gonna have to rip both of these to the right width. I've got 1x6, and I've also got 5/4 by 6. But these are like 4 1/4 inches, I think, or something like that. I'll trim this all up to size once this is on. We're kind of running downhill a little bit. Do my best. I'm gonna have to notch it around this section here. I'm not gonna be able to get up underneath as far. I got this corner trim done. What it ended up taking, this piece is very triangular. It's a 3 1/4 at the top and 4 1/2 at the bottom. But that works-ish. I'll fill this gap in with some caulk. This side looks pretty good. And that's done over here.
Am I seeing the mark or just hiding the mark?
Basically, like, split the mark.
Doing it.
Okay, you're happy with that?
Are you? Well, you should look at
Actually, yeah, so now I can... Where is it? Oh, there. Yeah, see, I can't bend to see that.
Yeah. There, is that it again?
Yeah.
Okay.
Good there? Oh, I covered my mark. That's why you're supposed to mark the tops and not the bottoms. All right, well, we'll sort that out next. I'm gonna mark the trim this time. Wow, see, what the heck? That's way low. Well, that lines up right there. That's like a 1/4 inch low. Can we come my way a little bit? Okay.
It's about an 8.
You got like an 1/8? Yep, that's perfect. Oh, sorry, forgot my hammer.
More than an 8, I would say.
That looks generally terrible. That middle one goes like a frowny face. The second one we put on. This is like you have all these random reference lines and none of them are straight, you know. None of them are horizontal or perpendicular to anything. So it's just really, it's tough on the eyes.
It's even further over.
Yeah, it needs to go here quite a bit.
Okay. Now it's totally flush. Too close.
I can't find my mark. Hold on. There it is.
That's about right.
It's so crooked. I need to cut like an 1/8 inch off. Oh, but it's not even under. Like, that's really where I need it to be.
It's really close.
Yeah, but look at over here.
I'm just telling you how far it is from here.
I know. I'm saying this is where it needs to be to line up with the other siding,
And
which
there's
means,
nails showing.
I know, these are all way too low. So that all needs to come off. All 3 of those need to come off. And hopefully I can get them off because they're $80 a piece. I don't know why this isn't working. This reveal here on this board is much less than this here. I put a string line on it last night and this board actually sags down. This one up here is arched up. And what's making it even worse is that the fact that this middle of the wall is out compared to the ends, like this way. So, I don't know, it all is conspiring to make this look not great. I think what I'm going to be able to do is push the top board down a little bit, about a 1/4 inch to kind of flatten it out. I think I'm going to call it good. Let's see if I can do this myself. I might need an extra hand, but push that down. How's that look? Mediocre. Whatever. It is what it is. It's an old house with crooked siding. Nobody needs to know that this is brand new. Oh boy. One thing I did just notice is I got that weird paper coming out below this. I gotta trim that off. But I think I'm gonna nail this off. Now, you may say to yourself, why are you nailing it different ways? Well, the old claps are nailed down at the bottom here. And I kind of went back and forth on whether I should nail the new claps the same way to match. My, I don't know, preference is to do hidden nails up underneath like I've done here. So I'm doing that where I can. All right, now I just need to kind of fill in. I got one piece here, short piece there, 2 pieces. We'll basically be done with this part of the job. Okay, this should now fit. There we go. Usually gonna line it up here on the left and then go to my mark here on the right. Now this one is gonna end up being nailed through the clapboard that's above it. Let's see how this fits. What's going on here? Oh, the top of the old clapboard is still in there. What are we gonna do about that? Let's see if we can't use a little oscillating tool to get up in there. Hard to tell what I'm cutting. Hopefully, it's enough for this clap to break it. There we go. Yeah. There we go. That's flush. And we're on my mark. Excellent. Let's nail that off. There we go. Yeah, I'm gonna have to notch it around the window. So I can't get it up behind there far enough. Alright, let's see if that fits. Still hitting somewhere. I think I'm gonna call it good actually. It's flush here, and it's not quite on my mark, but it actually looks even with the two, one below and one above. So I'm gonna call that good, nail it off. So we got this, what is this? Speed heater, Cobra, infrared paint stripper. We have never used it, and we ordered a bunch of scrapers along with it. This happens to be the clapboard scraper. So I think I'm going to give this a shot to get this paint off. Last summer when I painted, I just scraped, with the scraper and called it good. But hopefully this will do an easier job and a better job getting everything off. This is especially like a lot of rough spots up here with many, many, many layers of paint. So be a good test for this guy. Gonna give it a little shot and see how it goes.
Exciting.
Let's try not to burn the house down. I think it said like, maybe we should let it heat up a second. Oh yeah, it's getting warm. You're not gonna see anything because it's infrared, but it smells like hot new appliance.
Yeah.
Today's hot new appliance. Well,
Don't trip yourself.
I know.
As you get excited.
Let's just see. I said like 1 to 2 inches. The videos showed the paint like bubbling up, right?
Right.
There's no paint bubbling. Maybe it needs to be hotter.
Maybe where are the instructions?
There was a little card that I threw away. Oh, but see there?
Whoa.
Yeah.
See, you said you're not going to see anything, but I see red.
Yes. Let's see.
Oh yeah, there's the red.
Is it bubbling?
No, I'll tell you when I see something bubbling.
I mean, I don't want to get it too close and burn it, but...
See what it does even if you don't have bubbles. Oh, I see a bubble.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my gosh. I see bubbles. Oh my god, this is so exciting.
Now let's see. Oh wow.
This is very exciting. See, oh yeah, I see some bubbles on the left of your
Yep.
area. Compare this to your scraping experiences last May.
So far, significantly easier.
Because the other thing is you were just like getting loose stuff out. You weren't
Right.
getting down to the wood hardly ever. Oh my god.
This is
incredible.
making a big mess, but
We'll just, yeah.
that's taken off like, that's legitimately an
Down
1/8 inch
to
of
the-
paint, you know?
Yeah. It's just down to the wood. Just like that. Oh my god. Oh my god. Let's strip everything. Wow, I see it. It's bubbling off. Those layers and layers. This is incredible. What's it like to hold it and hold the scraper?
Not bad.
Awkward.
A little bit like just getting used to it is weird, but
It's not hot in your hand.
no. That is nice and easy. Oop, gotta be careful you point this thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Oop, we don't want it smoking, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, what was smoking? Do you think it's because it's hitting that raw?
Maybe.
Oop, there's some bubbles. Wow, look at them just popping up. Yeah, kind of awkward where there is. Oh no, actually, amazing.
This is working so nice.
Yeah. How hard are you pushing with the?
Firmly, but not like,
Not like you were when you were doing.
no,
Like where you
half of the force of the Pro Scraper.
And we got the thing so we can sharpen this.
Yes.
I'm curious about the kind of like corner into the window. Do you feel hot at all?
Do I feel hot?
Like warm holding it?
Not really, no. There's a little bit of heat coming like in my face,
Yeah.
but not bad at all.
I'm just thinking about like in the summer being outside.
Ooh.
Little rot there.
We'll have to, yeah. We'll have to figure out maybe a better method for
They have some
the
other
corners here. Yeah.
Oh my god.
But, you know, that was like, that was easy.
That is incredible.
I'm gonna cut that off. Love it. And that's,
Good purchase. How hot is
it's warm, but it's not alarming. It probably gets that warm just in the sun, you know?
I'm gonna go make sure the boys are okay.
Definitely makes a mess though. Gotta put some plastic down.
But it
That's working pretty well. I won't say it's easy, but it's getting a much better result than an equivalent amount of work with the Pro Scraper that I used last summer on the other side of the house. This is able to take off all the old paint. It's actually pretty well adhered, in addition to all the loose stuff. Last year I was only taking off the loose stuff and leaving the old stuff, so it was like a very uneven surface. But this is a nice even surface, and I think it's going to get a much better result when we're all done. I've been doing a little bit more stripping, but what I'm working on right now is fixing these soffits. So that the fascia board was all rotted, and I've got a few of these rafter tails. Oh, it's hard to see with the shadows, but that is bug damage. And then this one, you can't see it at all. It's short. It's just like 3 inches too short. So, and then there's another one down there that's damaged. So I am sistering on some new rafter tails so that I can get my fascia attached properly. And I also need to replace this, I guess this is the soffit, this board over to the end there. That was rotted out. It was actually 2 pieces that was split here, and it was all rotted right there. So I'm replacing that piece. I've got, I think, 2 more rafter tails to cut, and then we can start on the trim. These are all a custom shape, so nothing is easy. I've got all the repaired rafter tails installed. So I need to get this piece of soffit board on here. I think I'm going to use, I've got some 1x12. I'm going to have to cut to size. And then I've got some 1x6 for the fascia. And then I'll get this all closed up. All right, I got that fascia board up. I think it actually looks pretty good. You will notice that over on this right side, the roof dips down quite a bit, but I made the fascia straight in relation to the siding, so it looks good. I got the soffit fixed. Get this board in over here. That's gonna need some caulking. Basically what was there is a little crazy, and it's not quite the same thickness as the old board that's over there, but it's gonna work. The next thing I gotta do is I gotta fill that gap there between the drip edge and the fascia. And so it's got this this second rake board that kind of fills that gap. So I gotta figure out the dimension to make that, because what's gonna happen on the right side, it's gonna basically disappear. I think that might be okay. I kind of want to make it look consistent and just let it die behind the drip edge on that right corner where the roof dips down so much. I got all the paint scraped off, so I am ready to I'm going to sand a little bit just to kind of get the rough wood off, and got to do some caulking around the edges. Once that's dry, we'll be moving on to paint or primer and paint. I did decide up here, I can't get the scraper into this little corner below the eave, so I decided to leave that top board. It's not in perfect condition, but it's okay-ish. So it'll be fine. But everything else is scraped off. I also cleaned up a bit down here. There was all these like bricks and rocks and whatever all just piled up there. So I'm gonna do a little bit more cleaning. Got some of these other rocks out of there, and I think we're gonna just put a bunch of gravel along here. Also want to get a gutter installed at some point, but got to get the painting done first. I got all the ends of the siding where it meets the trim caulked. One thing, it's important to not put caulk on the bottom so that the water can weep out. I have there's a board behind there, basically has a flashing, so you don't want to trap the water in. But I gotta let this caulking dry, and then we can prime. I didn't film any of it, but I just got the primer on. You can't see the primer because it is clear. You can kind of see down here a little bit of like green tinge where it's still wet. I'm using the Mad Dog Dura Prime. That it's a kind of a minty green color when it's wet and it dries clear. But it worked really well when we painted the other side of the house last year. So I think we're going to keep using that. My hope is that I can get home from work tomorrow early enough where I can get first coat of paint on here before it gets too dark. It's supposed to be 80 degrees tomorrow, so I gotta try to take advantage of the warm weather while it's still here. All right, first coat is on. I think it looks pretty good. You can obviously tell that it needs a second coat, but I think it came out pretty good. What you just saw was not a fancy editing trick. That was the sun going down and getting dark as I continued to paint. So some of this upper row here is probably a little rough because I literally could not see anything as I was painting it. It actually came out all right considering. I was just dipping the brush and slapping it on, and it was the first coat, so I wasn't too concerned. I'll do the second coat, you know, in the daylight. But I think that came out all right. Got a little swirls over there from, I think that must be from the handle or something hitting, but on the whole, I think that looks pretty good. The second coat really will, even it out. The texture is pretty good. The second coat will even out the color a lot. I'll be doing that in a couple days here when I have some time during the daylight. there it is. Final coat's on. Got my outlet mounted again. I think it came out pretty good. I actually like how, it's not perfect. Like you can tell that these are old clapboards that aren't in immaculate condition. But also, it's like smooth enough to look decent, especially as you back up. This is a kind of a matte finish on the paint. I think it came out really nice. If you look around this side, you can see the clear difference in color. This is White Dove that we just painted, and what's on here is like white. It's like the cheapest white paint you can buy. We kind of like the more muted tone of the white. It's not quite so glaring. Okay, this project is done.